My ducks, what's good, my people? What's popping, man? What's good, man? Once again, your boy Punky BFLB is back. Though I'm late, but please bear with me, man. Nottingham Forest is gonna be facing Porto. This is a home game for them because it's gonna be happening at their home stadium. All right, I don't want to waste more time, and let me put up a live commentary so we get locked in. The game is 3 minutes in, 5 minutes in. Damn. Holy. 5 minutes in. Damn. Let me share my screen, man. Let me share my screen once again. It's 0-0. It's 0-0 at the moment. Porto, they have made already 2 shots, man. They are looking so sharp tonight. They are looking so sharp tonight. So if you're watching right now, like this stream, also subscribe if you haven't, man. The campaign is still on. Let me put up a poll. Will Porto FC Porto defeat Nottingham Forest? Nottingham Forest tonight? That's the question, my dogs. Will Porto defeat Nottingham Forest tonight? Let me know in the comment. Let me know in the live chat which team you are supporting, man. As you can see on your screens, still 0-0. Still 0-0. Let me share the live commentary, man. Today I'm late, man. Forgive your boy. Please.
Lovely to see. A little bit different than England. You go back when you've done well and you absolutely haven't.
It was the difference between polite applause and dogs abuse, wasn't it?
It certainly was. No, it was lovely to see, and I think he'll end up doing a really good job for any club that he goes to, actually. It's a bit indifferent at the moment, but he's got to be judged really if they can stay up next year when he has a whole season.
So Forest were the first team to beat Porto when they met at the City Ground in October. Since then, they've lost 3 more games, but they've only been beaten once here this season. That was by Vitória Guimarães in December, and it's just 1 defeat in the last 25, all told, inside the Dragao. So they do bring a tremendous amount of confidence and ability into this match. They're well clear the dominant team in Portugal this season. This does look like the strongest half of the draw. You've got Aston Villa and playing tonight in this side as well. So it's a difficult path to the final for Forest, for Porto, for Villa and for Bologna.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I think that's just the way it goes. There's no Champions League almost similar as well. But this is about, unfortunately, this is when you get into 2 league affairs. This is where Forest, when they won the European Cup in Liverpool with it back in the day, the back pass rule has changed a little bit because you could waste 10 minutes in the way you first league. You slow the game down, you're back to the goal, you can pick it up, roll it out to the right back, give it, and just kill the game off. You can't do that nowadays.
This is the former Southampton defender Jan Bednarek, and then swept on by Borja Sainz. Thiago Silva.
Porto, they are looking for a goal so badly tonight.
The championship was a Norwich player last season with a shot straight to the keeper, but that's another good chance generated by by Porto in the opening 7 minutes here, Glenn.
Yeah, it's a lovely bit of football as well. Lovely first time layoff as well. And Signs really should score. He should actually hit the target in the corners. No way that should go down the goalkeeper's throat. But another really good chance.
Just one or two signs of early defensive frailty here with this different-looking Forest defence.
That's a lovely little pass. There's the one-touch flick, and he just gets it caught up in between his feet a little bit. Doesn't move his feet quick enough, and he just tries to pass it in the corner. And actually just drags it straight into the keeper's arms. But they're a dangerous top side in and around that penalty area.
Miller was on the ball there. Terry Murphy, the Italian referee, was in a good position, but he's got to be careful with his hands there. The Brazilian defender of Forest. In the meantime, it's Yates and now Wood. That's out for a throw in. But Forest are finding it difficult to settle here. And he is just waiting here because Daniele Schiffi, the video assistant referee, is having a look at it. Started outside the box, but
yeah, there's the pull of the shirt. That is a foul, 100%. And then sort of the second grab. There's the foul outside the box. Now let go. If you're a defender, you've got to. He's held on so long. Has he gone over that line into the 18-yard box? That is the key.
Well, it's been upgraded from white to yellow on the screen, which means it's a slightly more serious check than it was at the outset. They're all having a look as well.
Oh, someone is gonna get a red card.
Can do is hold their breath and hope. And it is in fact check over. So something that goes Forest's way in the early stages here.
It has gone their way because the law of the game, that is an absolute free kick outside the box, if nothing else.
By Thiago Silva, straight through to Stefan Ortega. Forest's two best recent performances have both been away from home. The win in Denmark against Midtjylland in the previous round, the 3-0 win at Spurs, which I won't mention too often tonight, Glenn, prior to the international break. The back-to-back wins ending a run of 6 without one. Forest are good enough. We've seen that on occasions this season. It's just whether they can put it together. And they've had one or two rocky moments in the early stages here. This is Pablo Rosario. Murillo slipped over. It's a good job that Abbott was alive to the danger behind him. It was good defending from the teenager.
This one ran on the cover really well, read the situation. But what they're doing, Porto, they're getting some runners. They're getting different bodies as well. It's not the same one going. They've got two or three from that deeper midfield position prepared to go beyond. And it's causing Forest a little bit of a problem.
Gets a crop.
Oh my goodness. Porto scores! Let's go! Porto's gonna win this Europa League.
There's the little run. Got runners there. No one switches in. There's the little ball there. Murphy nearly gets a toe, but Gomez doing what you do. You take a risk on that back post. and there's not enough Forest players goal side in defensive secure positions.
Glenn, who's got to pick him up? Morato, the left-sided centre-back, or Undoy, the left-sided wing-back, as nobody's with him.
Ooh,
Well,
what
Undoy
a
was caught up. He was
goal.
caught too far up the pitch. Look, you see him sprinting back. So for me, it's the centre-backs when you've got to be on the swivel. You've got to be looking over your shoulder. You didn't even see the attacker there. So, you know, I think sometimes if you want to play on the ball, the wing-backs have got to go in stages. Undoy's got caught far too high up the pitch.
So it really is the worst possible start for Forest. A goal down inside 12 minutes. There have been other chances as well for Porto. And they're renowned for having good young players. William Gomez, the goal scorer, only 20. He's a Brazilian youth international. And he's on a run of 4 goals in 5 games. And he was given complete licence to run in and tap that into the back of the Forest net and make it 1-0 to the Portuguese league leaders. The offside flag up on that side against Dan Undoy.
Vote in the live chat.
Porto unbeaten in 13 at the Dragao. They've won 19 of the 23 games they've played here so far this season, and you can see that confidence. They've started like a team in that kind of form.
Fletch, the problem they've got is that 3 at the back is being stretched. Oh my word!
1-1.
That's astonishing.
1-1.
Martin Fernandes cannot believe what he's just done. Diogo Costa, the captain.
An on goal. Oh my goodness. Porto, they have scored the 2 goals.
I mean, you can talk all day long about tactics and whatever, but my word, he stumbles. There's the ball. He just overweighted it. He's overhit it. I mean, I just don't know. I think the goalkeeper is way out of his penalty area.
An on goal. Oh my God. Porto, what are you doing?
And if he handles that, he dives for it and handles it, he's sent off. At the end of the
What's
day,
Porto
you
doing,
can
man?
talk tactics, you can talk about individuals, but my word, what a way to get back in the game.
Well, I tell you what, the lead lasted 10 minutes. Nobody, Farioli, the supporters, Pereira, nobody expected Forest to get back on terms like that. Martin Fernandes.
That's an easy goal for Nottingham Forest.
Diogo Costa, and it's 1-1.
It's not even as if it's a blind sort of fastback where he knows the keeper's out of way out of goals or whatever. He's actually steadied himself. He's played it nicely. You cannot believe all different ways how you can get back in the game.
It's crazy, man.
One of the most bizarre goals I've seen for quite some time. So 1-1. Now the lead didn't last very long at all, and if Forest needed a lift, that certainly gives it to them. Got to be careful though, because they look sharp through midfield. Gabriel Vega, they're threatening again. Zach Abbott was the man in the middle there to head it away, but he was outnumbered 2 against 1, wasn't he?
Yeah, 2v1 in there again. The wing backs for Forest are not doing their job. Maybe the manager's asked them, but what the problem Forest have got, and why it looks so easy to get through them, Reg, is they're going 3v3, but they're split. So Porto are 2 wide men and a centre forward, and they're going 3v3. You can't cover that area. You have to swing into a 4, or the wing backs have to come back in as a 5.
That's the challenge. Oh, Dan Undoy, they brought the yellow card to Gabriel Vega. And there are a few players in both starting lineups tonight that are looking away from suspension as we see this own goal again from Fernandes.
It's incredible. Incredible, it really is. I mean, they've had to break
What a big
Forest
mistake for
through.
Porto.
They finally get the goal, and then suddenly concede a goal like that. That's football.
Absolutely bonkers. Tell you what though, Glenn, if you're going to go deep into a European competition, sometimes you need things to go your way on nights when it's not necessarily working for you. And there's evidence that the circumstances don't always have to be perfect to get you back on terms in a big match.
Absolutely. You've got that scenario, you've got the one there that, the referee or VAR could have given a penalty against them as well. That decision went their way, so the signs are good, but on a football front at the moment, this is the tackle there. He comes through the back. It's a nasty tackle that really. And he knows he's not going to win the ball.
Well, the fellow that's just scored the own goal is now the one that's receiving lengthy treatment down there, having been caught up in it, Martin Fernandes. And don't forget, we've got Arsenal against Bournemouth on Saturday in the Premier League, 11 o'clock on TNT Sports 1, HBO Max as well. And there's a couple of games in Serie A on Sunday for you. Parma against Napoli at 1:45 on TNT Sports 2, and Como against Inter at 7:30 on Sunday on TNT Sports 1. So 1-1 in bizarre circumstances in the Estádio de Dragão. The Porto goal supremely made, and the Forest equaliser, an outright fluke. All Farioli could do was applaud the fella and try and lift it, because I mean he did it on purpose.
No, of course.
I don't quite know what you say to someone in those circumstances.
Well, at the moment, funny enough, as you said, he's getting treatment at the moment. And I think Costa, the captain there, the keeper, I think he had a thought. He thought about he could probably get it if he dives and saves it with his hand. I don't know whether he was 100% sure it was going in, but if he saves that, then obviously he's going to be sent off as well.
It's a Dylan Backwell. Let's see whether Forest can capitalise on the fact they got back on level terms in those circumstances. Morata, one thing Forest have to do is tighten up at the back. They've been far too open so far. Abbott onto Backwell, and then it goes to Morgan Gibbs-White, who felt the challenge there from Bednarek, wasn't foul. Borja Sainz, Jan Bednarek. Pablo Rosario. Since the first meeting, Porto have signed Thiago Silva, Seko Fofana and Terem Moffi, who are all starting tonight. They've been added to the squad. The significant absentee is the top scorer, Samu, who's not going to play again in this season. He managed 20 goals before that. It's gone from bad to worse for poor old Martin Fernandes, because he now can't carry on. Having scored the own goal, he's now got his goal off. He starts quite a few games at right back, more in fairness. There's the player to come on and replace him.
You have to feel for it, don't you? Let's be fair. He's scored an under. He can't even put that right now as well. He's got himself injured. It was a bad tackle, actually. He's come out the worst. But at the end of the day, it's not a good night for him.
Got caught in the crossfire, didn't he, Fernandes over there? So Costa on. That's played on by Vega. He goes towards Moffi. Murillo's header taken down smartly by Fofana. And involved for the first time is Costa, but he's lost the ball, and now Dylan Doy can try and run into his space.
Nottingham Forest.
Support here from James McAtee, but that's a really poor pass from Dylan Doy.
A few words as well. That's the vital stages of the pitch. That ball there, so if you slide the right ball, you wait the right ball, that's when you get opportunities, but that's where quality comes into it. They've got a corner here, and they have got a big side, actually. Look at, we watched them doing some set plays defensively, but they've got some size in this Forest team. Obviously, Chris Wood coming in, Lake's been in there as well, adding to it.
Chris Wood's going to try and make his presence felt. 173 days since he last played for Forest. That was against Chelsea under Ange Postecoglou back in October. Didn't play on the short night, and now he's playing for Vitor Pereira for the first time tonight. Backwell with the corner. And that didn't beat the man at the front post, who was the goal scorer, William Gomez. Do you think he's asking to see the own goal? What's he looking at on the phone?
Oh dear. Or the tackle,
Probably, yeah.
I think he's looking at the tackle.
They didn't show him the wrong clip.
Oh dear.
So Backwell again with a bit more distance this time. That's a good header in there by Bednarek, who Forest know all about. Swinging by McAtee, that's headed away by Zaidu. Just a little bit of indecision there between goalkeeper and left back, but Costa was there in the end. The throw out though put Fofana under a bit of pressure.
It wasn't the best throw out, was it? He sort of panicked a little bit.
I'll tell you what, Murillo's got to get a bit of composure out there. I mean, he's thrown himself around like nobody's business. Here's McAtee with a shot and took a deflection. Zaidu can get things back under control for Porto. I mean, he's pretty much the senior man out there tonight, Murillo, despite the fact he's not quite as old as Monato, but he's the senior man in terms of his status at the club, but he's looked very clumsy in the early stages, the Brazilian.
He has. He's trying to win every single ball. Sometimes as a defender you can't. You know, do your job defending. Secondary, do your passing, and if you can use the ball well, then that's fine. Especially in the first leg of a European away from home.
Time there to play it back to Ortega. Only the second time that Forest have played a competitive game in Portugal. They played in Braga in the league phase. Chris Wood chasing this, but Jan Bednarek was able to get back, and in fact the offside flag was up. Of the previous 4 European quarter-finals, they beat Grasshoppers and Dynamo Berlin in the European Cup, Sturm Graz in the UEFA Cup, and lost to Bayern Munich in the same competition 30 years ago. This is the left back Zaidu, and they've got men over again. Morato's chasing back, and there's Ortega, but they're finding themselves 2v1 a lot, aren't they? And he controlled that there for Farner. He would have been in.
Porto, they want to win.
This defence is just not working. The manager's got to change it.
Porto, they want to
swing
win.
into a 4. Defending a 4 because there's runners from midfield and they're running into 30 yards of space at times, and then the wingers are spare. They've got to change something here. If not the second goal, they're going to get a second.
Zach Abbott can certainly play as a right back if that's the case. They've got Nico Williams on the bench on the rider as well, so they've got players who can come on and change it if they needed to. But he's taken a gamble tonight. I mean, it's okay seeing the team work against Watchalong, but they've gone up a level in terms of the opposition tonight in Porto, and they've not looked anywhere near as effective in the opening 23.5 minutes here in the Dragao so far with this team out there.
Yeah, well, they've taken a bit of a chance, as we were talking about, sort of personnel change. But also, if they've been asked that back three to mark against the split 3 going forward, you're on hiding to nothing. You can't do that. There's too much space to cover. And then if you haven't got a real sitter in midfield that's going to track those midfield players, then you're doubly in trouble. So they've got to sort that out. They really have.
There's been a goal at Selhurst Park, and Crystal Palace lead Fiorentina by a goal to nil. Jean-Philippe Mateta from the penalty spot. Still 0-0 between Bologna and Aston Villa in the other Europa League match that we're paying close attention to tonight. Here's James McAtee, now Morgan Gibbs-White. Going straight at Seko for Farner. That's pulled away by Zaidu. Just got a little knock on the follow-through, didn't he, for Farner?
Gavin Gibbs-White just give it away. He read him, didn't he? Just stretched out. Gibbs-White just tackles the ball. I don't think there's anything malicious there. I don't even know if he caught him a little bit, but not to the extent where you think, well, he's a ball keeper.
He came from Rennes in January on loan, scored in his last 2 matches for Porto. Seko Fofana played against Forest with Fulham back in 2015. He's an Ivory Coast international, so he knows Ibrahim Sangare on the Forest bench. Gibbs-White trying to run away from Bednarek, and then Forest can now get on the move here through McAtee, and it goes to Ryan Yates. Yates thinks about the shot, then he plays it wide here to Bakwa. Chris Wood waiting in the middle, and it goes towards Wood. That's headed away by Thiago Silva.
It's the sort of service that he wants, Chris Wood, a little bit higher to that back post that he was in.
Scored his only Europa League appearance this season, Chris Wood. 3 goals in 9 games that he's played. That's a big thing from Gibbs-White, but 2 deep. And safety first from Alberto Costa. they've had 59% of the ball, Forest, to this point. Then it goes from Dan and Doy. Morgan gives right in the middle of Diogo Costa. Can catch it. The difference is, though, the 41% that Porto have had have led to 4 chances created and all 4 attempts on target. So they've been pretty good when they go in there.
That's why possession doesn't give you the right complexion of the game. It really doesn't. If you're sitting there watching as we are, you're thinking Porto, wow, they look like they've scored 4 or 5. They've created those sort of chances, whereas Forest at the moment haven't carved one out.
I must say they've taken all of their allocation, Forest, as they do. They travel so well. I was speaking to quite a few people who could have got tickets, but they couldn't get flights. It's been a difficult place for the Forest fans to get to. They've had to go here, there and everywhere to make sure they're here, but they were making a great noise outside and they've represented the club well, as they always do. Big red suede at the top of the stand opposite where we're commentating from tonight.
Looks fantastic, doesn't it? All the St George flags at the front there as well. Well supported club. And fantastic for them to be the history of this club back in Europe.
Done a backpass pass, picks out Gibbs White, who didn't get it under control. Now here's Fofana running into that midfield space, but also running into a combination of Dominguez and McAtee. Settled down a bit better with the ball now, Forest, since they got the equaliser through the own goal. There's Dan and Doy. Up against Alberto Costa, went for goal himself. Bendirek was caught napping and over goes one. Referee says no penalty. Chris was furious. I'm not sure Bendirek realised he was there.
No, he didn't.
A penalty for Nottingham Forest.
His shoulder.
Forest have been awarded plenty of penalties in this Europa League competition this season, but there's no sign at this stage that the Italian VAR is going to take a look at it.
The referee was very, very positive in his decision. Straight away said no.
Dominguez to Adoy. Here's Murillo. Porto, McAtee. Defended on that side by Fofana for Porto. The last touch there was off Morata.
Here's a little opportunity. The referee decided very quickly. He had a little glance there, just gets a touch.
Not enough.
I don't think there's enough there for a penalty. He does get there first, but no. Might have been slight. He's saying it's kicked my foot, but it's a slight touch, but not enough.
It goes towards Sainz. And Abbott did enough. Played in the FA Cup semi-final against Manchester City. Zach Abbott, as an 18-year-old, last season did very well. The majority of his opportunities have come in the Europa League, and he starts again tonight at 19. Murillow's lost the ball, and now they're one short at the back. Nico Dominguez has slotted him there. Zaidu. Half an hour played in the Dragao, 1-1. William Gomez for Porto, and then a bizarre own goal from Martin Fernandez inside 2 minutes after that.
It's a better shape for Forest now. And Doy, Bagwell have come back as wing backs and come deep to deal with the wide. So at least the 3 in that defensive 3, they've got, when those runners make a run, they're running onto people, whereas there was holes and gaps to run into.
Plenty on the Forest bench tonight. Sangari, Hudson-Odoi, Jesus, Hutchinson, Milenkovic, Ida, Williams. This is Alberto Costa, now William Gomez. To knife his way in. Dominguez was over there for Forest. Chris Wood using his size there against Thiago Silva. And Dominguez quickly on the scene to find Ryan Yates.
This is good forever for us, just to calm it down, just keep the ball, take the sting out of the game, start building some confidence and some patterns of play in the game.
I must say, Glenn, since the own goal, they've had control, haven't they, Forest?
Yeah, they have. I mean, in that centre, both the midfields are leaving a lot of space for each other to actually play and perform. It's what you do with that, how you convert the opposition.
Doy with the switch to Dylan Backward, who plays his side for Forest in the summer. Crossed in by Zach Abbott. Also at the moment, just hearing it from their supporters for the first time tonight, because Forest are keeping the ball well. Alan Doy against Alberto Costa. Now McAtee. Morgan gives White can pull it back towards James McAtee. He was tidied up in there by Vega. Good free there, great balance. And good acceleration from Seko Fofana. William Gomez. Murillo's gone out there with Fofana and made a good block on the cross. And now there's the chance to go the other way potentially through James McAtee.
He had nobody to hit. I could have hit the counter. Chris Wood actually was one of those that was desperate to get back and defend for his team, and ends up on the edge of his own penalty area.
Honestly, but I'm surprised at how badly Porto have reacted to the own goal. They've gone from cutting Forest open at will to now Forest are controlling the ball, they're dictating the tempo of the game, they've settled in really nicely into the match.
Yeah, Forest have. They've picked up and I think it's taken the wind out of their sails, without a doubt. They've still got that situation there, though. A better pass, the right choice, and they agree. That is great. 3 or 4 players straight away. What a push.
So the whistles are what you want to hear if you're a Forest player tonight inside this stadium. Palace have doubled their lead, protected from the penalty spot, and now Tyrick Mitchell has made it 2-0 against Fiorentina at Selhurst Park, still belonging 0-0 in the Europa League match. Forest looking to try and nick it back here. Just got away with Rosario, and he's going to get the free kick, but a little bit nervy back there. Porto.
Risk on the edge of their penalty area. I'd like to see this again. It was a foul. It's risky there. He loses the ball. Too much.
There is a link tonight to Porto's last defeat in Europe in the Dragao. It was Evangelos Marinakis' Olympiakos who were the last team to win here. Forest owner, it's Ben Lurek, who's been on the losing side every time he's played against Forest in competitive matches. Saidu plays it into Boffey, and then that collision off the ball with Dominguez brings Porto the free kick.
He's got to play the 1-2, doesn't he? But Porto now got to look at themselves. They're the ones that now got to get back to playing how they were. Playing with a lot of confidence. Forest slowly but surely just taking the sting out of their play. Another little double 1-2, run straight in there. Dominguez knows what he's doing.
Thiago Silva, 108 games in Europe, 113 games for Brazil. Signed in December for his second spell as a Porto player. Looking to put it back now in a defensive shape for the team in red. 9 minutes to play in the first half. That early on looked like it could get away from Forest, especially when William Gomez gave them the lead. But the own goal at Forest back level almost instantaneously, and since then they've been really organised and really good with the ball. Pablo Rosario Time then for Gabby Vega. Here's William Gomez. Gets the other side of Galandoyan, pulls it back. It's Fafana. And then Saidu moves it onto his right foot, which he didn't want to shoot with. Vega then got in Rosario's way, or vice versa. And in the end, it's a weak effort by Gabriel Vega.
Half decent play from Porto, but in the early stages of the game, they were getting in line against Forest defence. Now, Forest to be happy that 3 shots from 30 yards. They're behind the ball. Porto having to play across and back and be a bit more patient. It's a completely different game. It really is. Forest, this is how I thought Forest would start.
Murillo is never too concerned when he receives the ball under pressure. Off goes Abbott. Dylan Bakwa. Morgan gets wide. James McAtee. Sit back out here to Galandoyan. You can take on Costa, whipping the cross. Wood was reaching for it. Yates challenging for it. And Diogo Costa catching it.
I think that's what Forest have got to do. They must have a player from midfield hitting the box when they're in wide position, so that not necessarily, you see Yates winning that ball, keeping it in contact, but not necessarily to actually score the goal, but take runners away and leave Chris Wood up against a one-on-one scenario. At the moment, he's got 2 centre-backs to play, and he crosses with him.
It's a good few days for Vitor Pereira and Forest. They've got Aston Villa in the Premier League at home on Sunday. And they certainly would love another positive result after that win at Spurs, which was huge for them in the circumstances prior to the international break. And of course, it would have given Pereira a little bit more time to assess things. It's difficult when you go into a job, I suppose, in the season. Find a bit of time to work with people and really assess what you're working with.
It was international week. We don't know how many players were away on international duty. Certainly they've had a week to prepare for this game.
The majority of the ones playing tonight will win it. Of course, there's no Elliot Anderson tonight. He's suspended for this one, but he's back available next Thursday for the second leg. Straight from the middle there by the Forest captain Yates, but he just needed a bit more on the press from Gibbs wide. Here's Fafana. William Gomez running at Morato, supported here by Costa. Fafana's in space. It was probably the wrong pass. They went instead towards William Gomez, but hey, it wasn't Fafana. He got acres of space around him, and in the end, Abbott can clear it away for Forest. Rosario, Ryan Yates was the offender. He's one of the players walking away from missing the second leg. The others, Murillo, Morato, and Gibbs White.
The referees just saw the arm come across. He gets knocked in there. Yates just comes away.
It just came up on the screen and they were checking to see if the foul was inside or outside the box. And I can tell categorically it was outside the box by about 20 yards. It must have been something else, wasn't it?
Which one?
I have no idea. It just came on the screen. This UEFA stats screen is supposed to give you all the information, but I can't for the life of me think what that was.
Well, it couldn't have been for Yates' foul. That's what
I'm saying. We might need a rethink in the VAR room if that's the case. I tell you what, after a ropey start, it's been a decent first half this for Forest in the circumstances. Away from home, a different team.
Again, getting down that tunnel 1-1, I think that would be a result. Just before they scored Porto, they had 3 really good chances. If they had their finishing boots on, the tie could have been over. They could have been 3 or 4 down. But now they've so grown in confidence that they're confident on the ball. They're not taking too many risks at the back. A lot of times now, they've gone to Wood, goal kicks and free kicks from deep. this is where they could try and work off that sort of ball.
See, that's something that they can't do when he's not there, because as willing as Jesus is to do that, he's not got the physical tools that Chris Wood's got, so his extra size gives them an extra dimension. He's probably only going to play about an hour tonight, you'd suspect.
Oh, I thought so, yeah. Yeah, he's put a stick as well. I watched him run back 70 yards there defensively when they were Porto were hitting on the break, so just to protect him for the longer term as well.
Such an important player last season, 20 goals in all competitions. The last time he scored a Forest goal, it was in the Europa League against Watchalong. 3 minutes to play in the first half in the Dragao. Forest right now have got this quarter-final first leg under control. Thiago Silva. Dragao to Estádio. Was the Forest player closing everything down there.
You see the red shirts behind the ball now. All the distances are really collectively, 10, 15 yards from each other.
Come on, Porto.
To
Score.
get through and bring them down. Porto have got to come up with something totally different.
Sides out here on the left. Then direct gives it to Estádio. Everybody back, as Glenn says, in this rigid defensive shape for Forest with 2 minutes to play in the first half. Here's for Palmer. Silva. Crossed in by Gomez. It's not a back cross, but Ortega has spotted it.
Come on, Porto.
Crosses on the right-hand side, left foot swinging in that you have to get across the front. Often look to just go in behind and get across the front of the ball. He's got a chance.
I'll tell you one thing, apart from that early chance that he had, which was his first touch of the night, he's done nothing, has he, the centre forward?
No, he's found it hard to get in the game, but I mean, he's made good movement. When Thiago Silva, 41, it doesn't matter, when the ball's in your feet, you can still pass. He's not making movement, because I think if I was playing with him, like if I'm a centre forward or a winger, you can get passes that others can't. 6 passes, and he's not making the right movement, unfortunately, for Forest.
Aston Villa 1-up against Bologna tonight. Esri Konsa, England defender. So Bologna 0, Villa 1. That's good defended by Dylan Bakwa to get back in dispossessed sights and win the free kick as well.
Aston Villa, they are leading. Also Crystal Palace.
Celebrates his 37th birthday tomorrow, but he looks a little bit confused at the moment. Porto manager Chris Wood beating Jan Bednarek in the air. That's a lovely taken turn from Morgan to Gibbs White. Here's Bakwa. Wasn't caught there. He felt a bit of contact from sights. Yates. He stood his ground there, Yates, but he conceded the free kick. McAtee's just had a word with the referee. To 3 additional minutes here at the end of the first half. William Gomez up against Canondoy.
Nice pass. Shoot.
Dominguez was across there.
What a save.
Good save by Ortega. The big man Buffy in the middle.
It's a good build up on it. Fafana flips the ball up, and I think Ortega reads where he's going. I think he echoes quite early, and that's why it looks like an easy save. But there he is, he's going back again. He's trying to get above it. He's actually got quite early and just read it. A beautiful save.
One of those as well, Clever. He's got to generate the power because there wasn't a great deal on the cross.
No, that's right. It was a little bit high for him. If he gets above it, he's got the choice to go near post or flick it. He just had to hang into that area and take it. Really read the situation well to get there.
It's the first scare for Forest for quite some time. Thiago Silva. There's a bit of unrest among the Porto supporters. Their lack of ability to generate more than they're doing after that really good start from the Portuguese team. Rosario plays it forward, Danandoy wins his header.
Still a little bit of hope over on that right-hand side of Porto. I think Alberto Costa's making a 2v1 there at times against Danandoy to get in there. Other than that, they're quite disciplined for us.
Sides challenge there by Bakwa. So nice turn by Vega to get away from Yates, who've got to be careful. Dominguez on a foot in. Moffi was there, and they'll play the advantage because Gibbs White can play it away. Dominguez just squared up with Moffi. Now's a picture. In the meantime, Bakwa can play it inside. Here's McAtee, nice balance from him. Can Forest get a goal before half-time here? That way, down the north is possessed by Gomez, and now he wants to turn defence into attack for Porto. Well, that's it.
Half-time.
I think Vitor Pereira is going to be pretty satisfied with that because his team were against the ropes early on. They went to goal down through William Gomez, and there were chances. That's the best late chance in the half. Terran Moffi with a header that was saved by Ortega. But the moment they scored the goal, Porto, Forest got the look of the own goal. Martin Fernandez putting it past Diogo Costa. He then went off injured. From that point, Forest got a grip of things and controlled the rest of the half. So we're all square in the Dragao at half-time. It's Porto 1, Nottingham Forest 1.
Need a spark of magic. That's what we can play.
Half-time. Half-time score 1-1. Porto scored the first goal and made a mistake. Scored another own goal, man. What's happening in Porto? How we do our things, man. I think right now we have time, man. Anyway, as you can see, Porto is in a very, very, very good form. In their past 5 matches, the previous 5 matches, they've won 4 of them and 1 draw. On the other side, Nottingham Forest, they have not a good form. They're not in a good form. 2 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss in their previous 5 matches. 2 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. Yeah, that form, that shows that they are not in a good form compared to Porto. So tonight, Costa is in the box for Porto. 4 defenders, we have some Sanusi, Bednarek, Silva, and Fernandes. 3 defenders, Vega, Rosario, Fofana. 3 forwards, that's Gomez, Moffi, and Saints. They are using a formation of 4-3-3. Whereas Nottingham Forest, they are using also the same ball formation of 4-3-3. Goalkeeper, Ortega in the box. 4 defenders, we have Dominguez, about Murillo and Morato. 3 midfielders have Makati Yates, Michael Gibbs-White doing the midfielding work. Goodness, why is this? Apart from the midfielders, we have the forwards. 3 of them we have Ndoi, Wood, and Bakwa. But to be honest, Porto, they are playing a good football, man. They scored the first one, and they also did a mistake in a few minutes after, making this first half 2 go. Goodness. Low by police this girl.
Hi, it's Abby here. I'm family. What do I want to say when you've left for 8 years? Remember me? You just left. Dad, I miss you. Send message. The fully electric, although exciting, with Google Assistant.
Porto have already made a substitute. Martin Fernandez got injured. Alberto Oliveira Bayo came in.
Welcome back. Aston Villa are in Bologna and they've gone 1-0 up just before half-time. Tielemans' corner headed in by Esri Konsa to give Unai Emery's side a 1-0 lead at the break. And in the Conference League, it's all going very well for Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Jean-Philippe Mateta put them 1-0 up from the penalty spot in his first start since January. And then it was Tyrant Mitchell who made it 2-0 after Mateta's shot was initially saved by David De Gea. So the Eagles leading 2-0 at half-time. And as in Porto, it is 1-1 between Forest and the Portuguese side. Andy Rees and Martin Keown were watching with me. And it started off quite badly for Forest, Andy, because Porto's early pressure paid off. They had a good chance before they took the lead, but Forest wing-backs were caught out of it.
Yeah, they were, and it was a tough start, there's no doubt about that. And I think it probably stems from the starting positions of the wing-backs. You can see here how high Dan and Doy and Bakwa are. Centre-back goes to step in Morato, and it leaves all that space to run into. You know, you can't do that, especially away from home. You've got to be a little bit more kind of defensive minded in the early part of the game and way too open, and that creates that chance that we've just seen there. It was good play, and Porto exposed it really well, and Porto playing really well at this point in the game. So you're kind of worried about them spaces at the moment. Then again you see Dan and Doy, he's quite high again. Backward goes to try and put pressure on the ball, but it's that back post space there. You see that Dan and Doy is trying to get back in, but he just can't in time, and it all comes from the starting position. And I think this is a really good angle of it. If you see Dan and Doy starts his recovery run too late, it becomes difficult for him. He's got too much ground to cover. It's a lovely weighted pass, I must say. It really was.
There you go, yeah, great ball. I think it's a problem when you play two wingers essentially in the wing back position. They don't really want to come back, and it was quite a long time into the game before they decided to drop. Obviously, they were given a gift with the own goal that was scored.
Yeah, less than 2 minutes later, Martin, and Forest are level. One of the most bizarre own goals you'll ever see, probably.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a gift. In fact, thank the Lord it's come from a Forest point of view. I'm not really sure what the player was doing. In the modern day game, obviously the goalkeeper's always there, isn't he, for you? He's just blasted it back. And not only that, he got injured 5 minutes later and he's not on the field, left the field of play. So it's been a horrible evening for him. But it got Forest back into the game. After that, they settled down, found a way to get the wing-backs into deep positions. They may change that.
Yeah, they just did really well after that. It was like Porto never really recovered, and it is 1-1 at the break. So Forest will be pretty happy with that, I'm sure, after Porto went 1-0 up thanks to William Gomez. But the joy turned to despair 2 minutes later after that gift-wrapped own goal.
The second half is gonna start in a few minutes, less than 4 minutes from now.
TNT Sports, powered by BYD.
4 minutes to go. We get to the second half, man, and see if Nottingham Forest are gonna win. But to be honest, Porto, they are playing good football. They want to win this match. They could be leading right now. But Martin Fernandez made a big mistake to gift Nottingham Forest an own goal. What's wrong with him, man?
How would you like to play?
Pick a card, any card, and pay. Or pick the PayPal debit card. You can get 10 times the points with their new rewards program, PayPal Plus. That's magical. Hey, you can spend those points at millions of places online. That's smart. And it's free. Sorry. God, I hate magicians. Sorry. That's not supposed to happen.
A safe way to pay. Just for more reward.
This material's slippery. Whoa!
Pay smarter. PayPal.
Smile so big that your eyes can go back in your face. Laugh so loud you can hear it from outer space. I really wanna talk to you. I really wanna know you. I really wanna talk to you. I really wanna.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Cannon. I'm Deputy Chief of the U.S. Embassy. Your daughter Katie has been found. She's alive. She's been missing for 8 years. What was our daughter doing in a 3,000-year-old?
This is their advertising on this channel. They're kind of crazy. Anyway, less than 3 minutes to go. We get to the second half.
I just want my daughter back.
Stay tuned, stay locked in. It's gonna be fire, man. Porto must win.
More outfit choices with 20
I'm rooting for Porto to win, man. I don't know. What about you? Vote. Vote in the live chat. Let me know. I'm supporting Nottingham Forest or FC Porto.
Hi, chicken.
What a load of malarkey. We keep things simple. With SIM plans, you can leave anytime. Smarty. Simple, honest mobile.
Hey, Dad. I have an idea. You know, I've been investing for a while. From insurance to wealth and retirement, we can help solve life's financial problems.
Less than 2 minutes to go.
Making it click. It takes a Viva.
Hello there. Oi. My shoulders. Didn't know you like that, bruv. I don't.
I don't either. It's time for a demonstration.
Head and Shoulders helps wash away your use regularly, prevents it coming back. Head and Shoulders, dermatologically tested to use every wash. Change the game with that bit of magic. Send your car on. Motorway, sponsors of this European football on TNT Sports.
The second half is up and running. Let's do this.
You can watch all episodes of Night of the Seven Kingdoms and House of the Dragon ahead of the new series coming soon. You can stream wall-to-wall restaurants.
Let's do this. The second half is here with us.
Quarter-finals. Nottingham Forest 1-1 at half-time against Porto. They were a goal down, but a bizarre own goal from Fernandes saw Forest get back in this game. And Andy, a couple of changes for Forest at half-time as well. It looks like Jesus and Milenkovic coming on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not probably surprised. I suppose we want to shore it up a little bit more. And I think Forest have grown into the game, though. I think they've actually played some okay stuff. And after that goal went in, they started to wrestle a bit of control with the game. So maybe the changes will shore it up a little bit. We still need to play the football. We've still got talented players on the pitch who can hold this Porto team. They just have to show it a little bit more.
And they have to be careful as well, because they could have gone 2-1 down just before half-time. But Ortega's had a good half, Martin.
Ortega's been outstanding, really good experience. Wing-backs need to be a little bit deeper. Jesus now around Thiago Silva, a little bit of pace. Maybe that will cause problems for Porto.
Can Jesus add to his 7 Europa League goals this season as we head into the...
Jesus, and then changes. Finished, don't get caught. Split 3v3 with the wide wingers. It's all up to Porto actually to change the way they played in the last half an hour, because they started well, but they were void of ideas how to break this Forest team down. So that's launched forward by Diogo Costa. First header in there for Milenkovic, who's come on at half-time. One thing that was interesting, they watered the pitch at half-time, but they only watered the half that Forest are attacking in. The end where Porto are defending, there's been no water. What would be? I'd have thought if you're going to water just one half, it'd be the end you're attacking. Yeah, defenders and Mississippi for shots at keepers and stuff like that. So that one, good spot. Darren, I was eating the chocolate bar up here while you were scouting. It was the grapes. They got some of the best grapes I think I've ever had at half-time. Magnificent. There's Zaka across. Still a back three for Forest, and it's a straight swap. Milenkovic has got into the middle zone. Abbott's on the right, Morato on the left. Everything else as you were in the first half. The fact that Jesus is on might just give Forest the hope of a goal. 7 goals in 9 Europa League matches, and 13 in total, including one at Spurs in the last match. Pepe involved for the first time, and now Fafana from the angle didn't shoot, dragged it away, and then Yates can break the block. Maybe just had to take on a fresh earlier, Glenn.
Yeah, he did. Certainly did. They created a little bit of space. Fafana's making them runs. He loves to get in the box without the ball. And when he's in there, he's just got to find that little bit more of composure, find out where the geography to where he is is the goal, and just loses his head a little bit.
Well, what is an interesting statistic about the goals of Igor Jesus this season is he scored 13 and 10 of them have been scored away. So he's been a lot better away from home than he has at the City ground.
And that suggests he likes a little bit more space. Maybe at the City ground, teams might bank up against him a little bit, but the space is condensed in that last third. That's where it's difficult to play, isn't it?
That's why he didn't keep it there, but Dominguez was in a good defensive position inside the Forest box. Here's Bednarek. Saidu, they're getting the Sainz over there. He's had a very good cross, any stretch of the imagination.
Made a lovely little blindside run on that, but once he got in there, I think he slips as he's tried to cross the ball. But again, you can see they've had words at half-time and they've started on the front foot against Porto. You would imagine that's always going to happen. Forest have just got to make sure they stay in this game for 15 minutes.
James McAtee, down to Doy. Ryan Yates can now find a pocket of space here for Jesus, who's got Philip Bakwa out there on the right. He's got Morgan Gibbs-White up there with him as well. Back Quite to take a run here at Estádio, but there's good working back on that side by Sainz for Porto.
Yeah, it was a shame actually. Forest broke really well through the pitch and had bodies in the box. And I didn't appreciate that. Decided to put the ball in.
It's Alberto Costa. They signed from Juventus last summer. Now Pepe. It's a good run by Pepe because he's away from Morata. And then the shot. Which is dragged wide. That's the first little explosive
Come
run from the
on.
substitute who came on at half-time.
Yeah, it's a lovely weighted pass as well too.
Come on.
Comes in as poor defending. Once he gets in there, you're thinking, oh my word, he's going to pull the trigger.
Porto.
He tries to keep the
Open. Oh.
Try to drag it in at the near post, but another good run.
Scored in his first two
Have a
games
nice
this season.
try. Porto, let's go.
39 games that he's played for Porto. I know Forest were linked with a lot of players in the summer and they signed a lot, but he was one of the players that they were looking at. You know, they were keen to sign wide attackers, and Pepe here at Porto was one of the players that they were being strongly on with at one point.
Certainly looks lively since he's come on at half time. He really has. It's positive. And it's the foul there, just this time really. He's caught him. Here's a foul. Vega just gets there first. You know, a lot of fouls we see like that. The crowd are baying for bookings and all sorts of things, but I think it's the right thing for the referee just to give a foul.
It's Pablo Rosario, now Alberto Costa. Costa did well at the outset, but then he ran himself into trouble.
Yeah, he's making, I said earlier in the first half that they're trying to double up. He's actually, since he's come on, he's making those runs inside of the wide man. It was Gomez first half, now it's Pepe. But at the end of the day, it's causing Forest a little bit of problems. He just run out of space there, the end zone ground. But that's one that they look quite dangerous at sometimes. That's when there's space there.
Forest have started the second half with a lot of subs warming up, and a couple of them are going through quite rigorous warm-ups at the moment. Nico Williams being one of them. And also down there, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Amari Hutchinson, Ibrahim Sangare, and Ola Aina. Seko Fofana. Played into Sainz, that's an excellent footing though by Morata, but he's given the ball away now to Vega.
Shoot.
Looks there, Vega, went to ground, referee was looking straight at him, didn't give anything.
3 yards away, wasn't it?
Here's Costa, and now Pepe. Decent start for the second half by Porto. Alberto Costa slides one in, Dragao gets it behind, it's a corner for the home team.
That's incredible there. You've got 3 centre-backs all gone across to that near post to cover that near post ball. Probably because it was the only blue shirt that was in there, the danger. But again, they've started well, haven't they, Porto?
Great scene behind Ortega's goal with the flags being waved by the Porto supporters. Really good noise inside the Dragao. Pepe's across to take this corner.
Corner for
Porto.
Porto.
The Forest have got to be aware of it. Swings on at the near post and headed behind impressively by Dominguez.
Another goal.
Once you win that first header on the near post, that's a short one, quick one.
Trailed in by Vega, but hit straight at Macquar. Villa have got a second goal on the night, so they're in control of their quarter-final. Ollie Watkins adding to Esri Konsa's goal in the first half. So 2 England men on target tonight for Villa in the Europa League. It's the same score at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 2 up against Fiorentina as well. 1-1 here, William Gomez, and inside 2 minutes the own goal by Martin Fernandes.
Forest doing exactly what's needed. Porto have dropped in on the halfway line and they've just got to go, we're going nowhere. Let's just keep the ball, calm this crowd down, because Porto have started like they started the first half and maybe the second half. So that's a better back pass to your keeper.
So you want just one correction to make here. They've got Pepe ready on the board at half-time, but they've not actually made it. Still Gomez out there.
Well,
I didn't notice at the outset.
Fletch, I'm looking at the team sheet thinking, hang on a minute, is it 7 is
absolutely
really strange.
So apologies for that. was already and everything down there during the course of the Forest substitution, so we'll keep an eye on that. Vincent McAtee trying to get in. That doesn't take away from the fact that Forest were looking at Pepe in the summer. I was right about that.
Also, what it's done, maybe, the manager said, look, I'm going to pretend to put you on, and Pepe started to play even better. Good management.
So 1-1, and right now, Forest will take this. This is Costa, and Dan and Dewey just had a little head start there. It's just about controlling this situation for the rest of the match, knowing they've got the home leg at the City Ground next week. Can't give it away like that. Fafana was in the mix, and Moffey was in the way. Here's Ryan Yates. To take on side of him, and he's on the back over there on this occasion. What's the manager's mindset in a situation like this, based on the fact you've picked a different team, you've got a goal down, you've won all of them, and everything's under control? Is he thinking about putting players on who he thinks can win the match tonight, or is he happy to keep the game as it is?
Certainly not yet, Dan. Not yet. I think he's got to maintain this system, the way it's going. Okay, they probably said in the dressing room that they're going to come at us for 10 minutes. Whether that's still, and they've given themselves a chance now because the wing backs are going back into defensive positions early. Whereas at the start of the game they were all over the place, but they've now got a bank of 5, and then they've got their midfield in front, which is also work the centre backs as and when. But so they've given themselves a better platform to go and defend it. But I think looking at it, he'll make that decision with 15 to go, whether we go and win it, can we go and win it, or shall we just hold on?
Costa with the early cross, and they've all left it in there. And in the end, it was Dragao who defended it well at the far post of Forest, but everybody looked at that and nobody went to attack it.
Yeah, it was a terrific ball in that little corridor, as they say. The keeper couldn't come. I'll tell you what, Dragao at the back post used his body extremely well. He really got his body in between ball and man and made sure he shuttled it away. Good defending. The key to that, though, he was in that position. He was in that wing-back position on the opposite side of the pitch, and he wasn't there in the first half.
Slipped through by Vega. Morato was just about able to reach that. Did well in the end. Here's Dominguez. Jesus, that's a nice little return ball, and it only goes towards McAtee, but Bednarek can get across. I think that's the area where you want to see Forest sharpen up. When they get towards the final third, they've just not really been there. Slightly bounce, which can often be a problem for a centre-back, and he's got Moffey behind him. He took a risk there, didn't he?
He did. He did take a risk as well. If you can get your first contact as a defender, that's what you're looking to do. Whether it's your head or clearance. Sometimes, you know, your mindset's got to be, I'm not going to try and play football here. This is about defending. Get rid of it.
Just looking at the Forest bench, they're going to make some changes. They're preparing Amari Hutchinson and Nico Williams. Certainly those two at the moment. Others have been down there warming up with them as well. I must say, it's a hot and sticky night in Porto. Here's McAtee, and they back off, and he hits the shot. Diogo Costa saves it. Well, they pretty much invited McAtee to shoot from there. So Williams and Hutchinson are ready.
Yeah, they're coming on early. This is the strike. He strikes it well, actually, doesn't he? I think Costa was a nice height for him. Costa, I think, was always going to say that from that distance have to go really bottom corner or top corner. But does his thing. But it was nice to see him get spare in that. McAtee in that little 10 position. Sometimes gives way, drifts away deeper, then somebody else has to go into that position.
So they're taking off sides and Moffey. And they're also going to take off Vega. So Frohold's going on, much to my relief, so is Pepe. And they're going to send on Dennis Gould as well. So Forest won't quite make their changes now. The three made by Farioli, Victor Froholt, 20-year-old Danish international, real talent, Pepe the Brazilian, and Dennis Gould, who's a Turkish international but only 21 himself. Here's Dan and Doyle. 1-1 in the Dragao, approaching the hour. I think they wanted a handball there. Dan and Doyle just lost his footing briefly. Here's Morato. Forest substitutes are waiting down below. Gibbs White clips one in, but that's not a very good pass. So, Nico Williams for Dylan Bakwa. And Amari Hutchinson for Morgan Gibbs White. So Nico Williams, who can play either a fullback or a wing-back role. Looks as though he's going to go and play as a right wing-back. Still the back three. In comes Hutchinson, who wasn't part of the European squad for the league phase, but very much a part of it now. We've reached the knockout stage of the Europa League.
Yeah, interesting to see him going into Gibbs White position just off the front there in that centre of midfield.
Victor Froholt plays it back here to Pablo Rosario. Gomez won't get that past Abbott. Header there for Thiago Silva. Still a back ball by Gomez, flicked up by Pepe, picked up there by Williams. He touched them by Ortega, but he was able to find Yates.
He recovered well, didn't he?
James McAtee. Nico Williams. Hutchinson clips one in. Jesus has got there.
Shoot!
He's let it go, and then he smashes the ball in. And now he's
Goal!
against the Forest striker. Well, Ryan Yates is still running in to ask the question because he didn't seem to do that at the outset.
That's a goal! It's a goal! Come on, Nottingham Forest! Nottingham Forest!
Well, it's called as a goal check on the screen.
Oh, that goal is not legit. The goalkeeper was down.
Contact was there. It was a lovely little deep ball. It was. It really was.
Timed it looked perfectly, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a nice little sharp running between the two centre backs. Costa obviously feels he's got hit in the head. He's got hit in the head with the ball. I think the ball's hit him in the face.
And he actually then got a knee on the back of the head after that, once he'd gone to ground.
Whether
That
that's
goal can be cancelled, man.
the clash early.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's saying he's got hit there with his foot. Jesus went for the ball, but for me, that looked like the ball just spun up and hit him in the face.
I mean, Jason did the right thing. He finished everything off just so we get to the situation that we're in. In the meantime, they're taking a look at Ortega as well at the other end, the Forest medical staff. We're still waiting for the adjudication from the video assistant referee, Daniel Chifi. So the question is whether Jesus gets to the ball first. I mean, there's the bang on the back of the head from the knee.
It's the whack, isn't it? But it's a really difficult one.
But the goalkeeper was distracted, man.
On the floor, as if he's out, then I think it's questioning the referee for sure. But I looked at him straight away, and I thought he was playing on.
Yes, that was my thought.
Yeah.
Still we're waiting here. In the meantime, Claudio Ramos, who's the number 2 goalkeeper here, is warming up.
The whack on the back of the head was secondary to the actual trying to go for the ball, wasn't it? Difficult one for the officials, this.
So we're still waiting here, but let's just tell you about next week. Champions League, Atletico Madrid against Barcelona on Tuesday. That's in the Metropolitano, and Diego Simeone's team are 2 up. Arsenal against Sporting, that late Kai Havertz goal has Arsenal with the advantage Wednesday. And also on Wednesday night, Bayern Munich against Real Madrid. There's work for Real Madrid to do. TNT Sports 1, TNT Sports 2, and of course HBO Max as well. I think confirmation that the goal won't stand.
Oh,
Even though it says 2-1 to Forest on the screen.
will not stand.
Take a picture of that. Keep that one. I think he says he actually plays the ball first.
Yes.
Obviously, it might be dangerous play he's going for the foot up.
1-1.
It's interesting now because there was the goal at West Ham in the FA Cup of the weekend. A lot of people thought that actually Disasi's foot was high. What turned out to be the West Ham equaliser in the 11th minute of injury, and that wasn't given. His foot was higher, so there's obviously different circumstances for different situations, but it does remain 1-1. Diogo Costa seemingly okay to carry on. Forest looking to put a bit of pressure on now through McAtee again down that side. Maybe just growing into a bit more confidence as an attacking team. That flashes over the head of Jesus.
That's that little one where you come inside from the left side, where we had one earlier on in the game, and that ball's going to be left-footed going away. You have to have a midfield player, a second player, burst in the gut to get into the box. Let your striker make the first move and then hit the box where the next gap is, and there was no one there for Forest.
That's a handball against Williams over there. Forest have won 3 of their last 4 away from home. In the Europa League, they were really good in Istanbul against Fenerbahce. Did really well to overturn that first leg deficit against Midtjylland as well in the previous round. Just wonder, Glenn, if they can find a little bit more here in what remains of this match, they might just take a lead back to Nottingham next week.
Yeah, I think they've just, like the first half, they've got to improve their performance. They've sat back in, which is the right thing to do. They've just got to break a little bit quicker and have a little bit more belief and get the players like Hutchinson on the ball in and around the penalty area.
Losing out there to Froholt. There's Dennis Gould. Gomez moving in and shooting. That's a good save. Had to get down well there, Ortega.
Porto with another shot.
There's a couple of times now Gomez has got into that position.
That's the noisy end of the Dragao. Forest have to defend this corner. Williams seem to have that under control. They've lost it in the fly. One behind them shows this for another one. It's a good header away by Dominguez in the middle of the crowd. A bit more than Estádio to Dragao in Porto. in there from Dominguez, but Gould can come away with it. It's a lovely return ball from Gomez down there. Porto on the move. It's through hole.
Porto! Ooh, what a save! Let's go! Man, someone is texting me. I mean, what the hell? I'm busy and someone is texting me. What? Porto! What a chance, man. No. Porto, they are dangerous, man.
Including the full allocation of Forest supporters in the stand opposite us. There's Morato's clearance into the final 20 minutes of the first leg. Yates battling for the ball. It's a free kick to Porto for the foul by Dominguez. Tighter in the second half, but there's open spaces in that midfield. Dominguez is saying, look, what have I done? But I think it was just before that, he was pressing back on his arm. Great atmosphere at the moment, hasn't it? Yeah, still got Callum Hudson-Odoi up his sleeve. He also put another attacking player on Pereira. Kick taken by Pepe, that's way too deep for everybody in there. Forest won't mind about that, just calms everything down, slows the game down. And don't forget that TNT Sports has now moved to its new streaming home on HBO Max, where you can also find any award-winning 1-1. You can catch up with season
Come on, Porto, do something.
Now streaming each week. Tensive looks on Porto faces down there on the bench. They want something, don't they, to take to the City ground next week? They need something, I think, Fletch. They really do. Knocked on by Dominguez and then by Hutchinson. William Gomez gets the free kick for the handball by Morata. I'll tell you what, this home crowd are doing their job, aren't they? They're doing their part. They really are. The atmosphere's got even more. They're claiming for every tackle, every little 50-50, and really getting behind their team. I think they know that they need to go over to England to the league. We just saw Alan Varela receiving some instructions from Farioli. He's now ready, so there's going to be another Porto change imminently. 18 minutes left.
18
Winning back
minutes.
for Forest was McAtee. Gets it back again then from Hutchinson. It's going to be a Porto throw for the nutmeg there, Morato. Taken quickly to goal, Milenkovic stood his ground. See, they're just trying to lift the pace, aren't they? Play quick in the home team. Yeah, they've got an urgency about them, they really have. This crowd's responded. Forest have got Sangari ready. So Fafana's night is over. Morella is going to come on to replace him. Sangari for McAtee is the Forest change. So Sangari maintains his record of having played in all of the Europa League matches for Forest this season. He will just give them that bit of stability in the middle of the pitch just to get them through this last 16 minutes or so.
Yeah, I think it's a true move from Vieira. I really do. I think McAtee, obviously, at this level, hasn't played in this intensity, and he's had Sangari's the right style of player to go in there and just hold in there and make sure that they can see this game out, because they're not playing particularly well, Forest, and that happens in two-legged affairs when you're away from home. You just got to stay in the game.
They would have snapped your hand off for a 1-1 prior to kick-off, and they'd certainly stop now if they could. Take what they've got for the second leg. The emphasis here on Porto to try and get themselves a lead. Rosario, Varela, referee in the way.
That was a nice bit of school there, Naz, to be honest. What's this? Oh, look at that.
There you go. There you
Come
go.
on, referee.
Where were you? I think you did bring me pass. Getting stick in the crowd.
Roberto Costa. Alvarado can see that behind. 50-50 in terms of possession. They've had more chances though, Porto tonight. 11 of them in total, 6 on target.
When you play away from home the first leg, you know, performances go out the window. It's about staying in the time. They had some good moments, Forest, in the back end of the first half, and they got a little bit of luck with a goal, or more than a little bit, but it's been one of those, there's more to come from Forest, there's no doubt about it, but stay in the results, stay in the two-legged affair. This is what they're doing.
Poor clearance there from Ortega, gives this throw into Porto. Torreira is looking on. Zaidu plays it forward. Rosario made the run. Milenkovic came across. Pepe plays it onto Froholt. Good run by the Dane, but too many Forest shirts around him in the air. Here's Dominguez, and now Jesus. It goes towards Yates, headed away by Bednarek. Alberto Costa. Varela. Pepe's got support here from Zaidu.
Far away from himself, and I think the referee's read that. Let's have a look. Some will give it, some away. I think he sees that the ball. I tell you what, if that was 5 yards from him, he'd have kept going.
Yeah. Well, that's the situation where Yates was using his body.
Just holding the player off. It's interesting. Now's the time where you need Chris Wood on the pitch. You know, coming on from the bench at this moment. Obviously, hindsight is easy, but this is a typical sort of game that they're now playing longer, and they need him there.
Just waiting for the goalkeeper and vice versa. Here's Pepe. That's a lovely back heel for Froholt, who's in. What a pass there from Pepe.
Oh my goodness.
But then to execute it with a little back heel pass.
Porto, what a chance.
They should have dealt with that. There's the little back heel Look at that vision. Fonzo just can't put it in that bottom corner. It wasn't a cute angle to touch here, but his touch just takes him away a little bit too far. Now is the angle for himself. Drills it just wide of the post. But hanging on in there, Forest.
Let off with 11 minutes to go. Yates took a bang on the head. Forest are going to get the free kick.
But they need to slow this down. Yates going backwards, look. It's a foul, isn't it? Because he's going backwards, he's looking up. Here's that lovely little magic passing. Look at that there, beautiful vision. Wonderful, wasn't it?
Executed perfectly, wasn't it?
That's the sort of skill people pay money to come and watch.
Absolutely. Still 1-1. It's Sangari. Now Dominguez. What Forest would give for a goal in the last 10 minutes and a lead to take to the City ground. Dan and Doy. Sangari. Trying to get the ball into Williams, who made the run forward. Here's Varela. Now Zaidu. Alberto Costa. Pepe up against Nico Williams. Alan Varela, front holds made another good run into the Forest box. Pepe skips away from Hutchinson, plays it back to Varela. He's going to hit the shot.
Three or four times.
Why is Porto losing their good chances? Oh my goodness.
And they're found on three occasions. That's the chance that just dragged it across the outside of the post. So close, wasn't it? But
It's a good player, Victor Froholm. He's the most expensive player that FC Copenhagen had ever sold when he came here for 20 million in the summer. He's got that knack of timing those runs into the opposition penalty area just right. Here's Dan and Doy with 8 minutes left. Dominguez. Played in field by Morato to Ndoy and then by Dominguez to Yates. Here's Hutchinson. Slipping over was Pepe, Ryan Yates. Crossed in by Williams towards Jesus. He's going to work his way through here to Dan and Doy. Defending done there by William Gomez. I think he's got one of the unmentionables. That's right now.
I won't mention it.
Less than 10 minutes remaining.
Swept on by Jan Bednarek is the left back Zaidu. Alberto Costa. Dragao Silva finds Alberto Costa on this side. He's got William Gomez with him as well. Off he goes, busy player on this side, and he goes to Varela. Varela's going to try and place it to the deflection too, which is going to change the direction. Straight to Stefan Ortega.
Again, lovely build-up, you know, when you get centre forward. That ball into him there in the penalty area. Midfield players running, but Varela just doesn't get hold of the ball. Just doesn't contact.
Slight touch off Milenkovic, which could have made it interesting, but ended up taking the sting off it. I think the big key to this game was Forest working out the shape. The minute they got and that 5 worked out, they've been a lot different.
And that happened after the own goal, how they got back into the game. And I'm very surprised how they went out and played that way. They were all over the place. The spaces for midfield players to run into. You cannot. That's why people go into a fight sometimes. But you'd rather have 3 defenders marking 1 centre forward than how they tried to make 3v3 spread across wide across the pitch. Just never going to work.
Final 5 minutes. Sangari for Forest. Flicked on by Dominguez to Ndoye. Ndoye cutting in. Looking to try and make room for the shot. Headed straight to Thiago Silva. Picked up now by Milenkovic to it. Shouts for handball from the Forest fans at the top of the stand opposite us. Forest have got down Ndoye down. Pereira's going to call his players in here for the last 5 minutes just to give them some encouragement, a bit more advice. I think the fact that he's got back to his feet so quickly, Ndoye, means that he can't. I think he felt that was half a chance, the Forest manager.
Wasn't on the same page, was he? No, too quick.
Sangari does well. Dominguez has been nice and solid tonight. Strange ball by Gomez. Here's Pepe.
Goes down as a completed pass.
Well, he does. He does. Alberto Costa being applauded by his manager Farioli down there. Time running out for Porto to get a lead, but it's a good run by Costa. Hits his cross straight to Morato.
Less than 5 minutes remaining.
Alberto Costa, good defending there by Ndoye when they get the corner, Porto.
Yeah, really good defender, you know, to stop crosses at this stage of the way leg, you know, 86th minute, stop the cross. You get that shout so many times. It's not easy, but he's done his job there brilliantly.
The Porto fans look on. 5 corners for them tonight. 3 minutes to play. Headed away comfortably there for Nottingham Forest. Milenkovic kept in play by Hutchinson, who plays it forward quickly towards the run of Williams, but Diogo Costa is going to catch that, quickly throws it out now to Zaid, who's got a lot of grass in front of him. Urged on by the crowd inside the Dragao.
Nice pass, let's go Porto.
William Gomez to take on down Ndoye. And he got past him, but then he slipped, and then he looks forlornly at the assistant for a free kick, but he went down under his own steam, I'm afraid.
He slipped, he gets past, that's the hard bit, he gets past him really well. There's a slight little nudge to try and balance it, there's the slip there.
Villa have had their lead cut in half. Bologna have got one back, so 2-1. And Villa lead in their first leg. It's been a decent night for Crystal Palace, and this will go down as a good night for Forest as well if they take this Porto team back to the City Ground after a 1-1 draw in the Dragao. Remember, Forest have beaten Porto already at the City Ground in the league phase. Sean Dyche's first game in charge, they won by 2 goals to 0. And you'd suspect they'd have a vastly different team out next Thursday from the start.
Well, you would think so, yeah. I think some of the big guns will be back, and indeed what you call really the normal team. I think the players that have come in have done Forest proud. They've not been scintillating. They've had some 20-minute spells in the first half, but they've done well enough. They really have done well enough to get this draw.
They've done what they were sent out there to do, haven't they?
Yeah. It's worked out well for the manager because he's protected the players less minutes than he wanted. Now they've got a big game on Sunday.
Massive game. Aston Villa at the City Ground. Forest still needing points to make sure they stay in the Premier League. Off goes Amari Hutchinson. Final 30 seconds of normal time. Nico Williams, Ryan Yates. Jesus in the box, Dan and Doyle in there as well, and Porto have won it back again. Here's Pablo Rosario. But that's given away, though, straight to Sankari. Dominguez plays it in. Williams is in there. Can Forest generate the chance? Well, they're going to get... it's a goal kick. I thought the referee was going to give the corner. I think the Forest players did as well.
Nottingham Forest, they are on legs.
Certainly not. I bet they ain't got the last touch.
Well, McNamara gives the ball away. That's why he was full alert to try and win the ball back. That's a risky pass.
So 5 minutes to be added on. Forest
5
denied the corner.
good minutes added.
Both goals scored inside 2 minutes in the first half. William Gomez for Porto and then Martin Fernandez with the bizarre own goal. Sankari in danger of giving the ball away to Rosario, but he's got it back again. Thiago Silva. Alberto Costa's going to leave it here for William Gomez. Farioli running down the touchline, and it goes from the Brazilian too high in the middle for Rosario. Andre Villas-Boas in the middle. They look too impressed, do they? The leadership group of Porto, none of the supporters, if I'm honest.
I think the supporters are having a go at Ortega with the referee taking too much time, which is the right thing to do.
Headed away by Milenkovic. Jesus. Here's Ndoye. Hutchinson's made the run forward, but he's not going to get it round. Thiago Silva. Costa gives it away though to Sankari. In terms of possession tonight.
50-50.
Villa have got a third. Ollie Watkins has got 2, so 3-1 Villa against Bologna. So the 2-goal lead restored for Unai Emery's team.
He does love this trophy.
That's the semi-final if they both get through. Forest Villa. Frustration for Farioli. Time running out here for Porto. To get themselves a lead to take to Nottingham. That's good defending by Dan and Doyle. William Gomez won it back. Here's Alan Varela. Ryan Yates looking to win it. Milenkovic was there. Then Hutchinson. And now Williams goes long from the Welsh international up towards Jesus, who flicks it on. Applauded by Vitor Pereira down there on the edge of the Forest technical area. Less than 2 minutes of additional time left. Rosario, then direct, now got Porto to get it forward. Alberto Costa. Joy got across there, and he's going to be penalised. The assistant gave it. It was still no more than a yard and a half away.
Yeah, he's in a good position. He's flat and straight up. This is almost last chance for them. Yeah, look, his arm across him, drags him down, and Gomez was always going to go to the ground there, but it's probably the right decision. But now, it's a quality ball in there looking for Porto.
So this feels like the last opportunity for Porto to get themselves a lead. Alan Varela is going to take this free kick and send it into the Forest box. It's headed straight into the arms of Ortega. And you'd suspect, Glenn, that should just about do it.
That should do it. I mean, no mistakes now, just keep the ball, nothing stupid, just tick that clock down, that's it. Very, very close to it, that's all they've got to do. Porto are not coming out to press Forest either. They're allowing them just to knock the ball around at the back, so they need to do that.
Is the best way to describe it tonight an effective away performance by Forest?
100%.
It's over, man.
Absolutely spot on. The managers picked the right team. The substitutes worked well for him at half-time as well. So he's had a really good day. Really good day. Sets up nicely for next week.
So 9 changes made tonight by Vitor Pereira to the team that won at Spurs in the Premier League prior to the international break. Forest found themselves behind. William Gomez with a goal. But inside 2 minutes, they were back level. A bizarre own goal by Martin Fernandez. There weren't too many chances after that. Forest got a semblance of control. They worked out the system, defended much better. You'd say that Victor Froholt's chance late in the second half was the closest they came after a wonderful back heel from Pepe. But Forest were nice and organised, nice and determined. And they will go to the City Ground as favourites now to go through to the semi-finals of the Europa League. Full time tonight, Porto 1, Nottingham Forest 1.
Thank you very much
1-1.
to Darren and to Glenn out in Porto. A good result then for Nottingham Forest to bring back to the City Ground in that second leg, especially after going a goal down so early in that game as well. And against a Porto side who had won every Europa League game at home this season. Andy Reid and Martin Keown were watching with me. And Andy, given how tough a nut Porto are to crack at home, just how good a draw is that to bring back?
I think it's an excellent draw. I think other than a shaky start, I think Forest actually kept a really good shape. I thought they made it really difficult. You can hear the manager, the crowd, everybody getting probably a little bit frustrated from a Porto perspective towards the end. So that's credit to Forest keeping the shape and maybe could have nicked it. But for me, job done for the fourth leg. I think the shape was good. I think the substitutions were good. I think they added a bit of stability to it, particularly Nico Williams coming on in the second half, and they can be pleased with the night's work.
What did you like about that Forest performance, Martin?
Well, I thought actually after a shaky start, okay, they were given a gift, but they played their way back into the game. Pereira would have been happy with the wing-backs' contribution, certainly in the second half. And, of course, they've got big games coming up in the Premier League, so he now knows that he can rely on this second group. There were 8 or 9 changes from the Spurs match. He's got a dilemma ahead of him in terms of the Burnley game, which is at the end of this second leg. So I'm not completely sure what they'll do in the next few games. Surely they've got to go for it now when they go back to the City Ground. But the Premier League status, huge game against Villa, who won handsomely again tonight in Europe. But they keep that momentum. They keep that unbeaten winning streak going. Pereira's moving his team through now. I think this has got the prospects of an opportunity for them to get to the semi-final. Having done the hard work away from home, they must feel that they can finish the job off at home.
Absolutely, and to do it as well, making all those changes from the Spurs game as well. So plenty of freshness in legs going into that Villa game at the weekend as well, Andy.
Yeah, it is. Look, it's another tough game, but I think it's a skill of a manager to be able to manage the squad, to get the game time, to get them changes right. I think he's managed it really well tonight, and you would be hopeful that they'd be fresh going into the game, which would be tough for Villa. They've obviously had to travel away tonight as well, so it should be an interesting game at the City Ground. But I do think, though, that tonight, I think what they've done particularly well is adapted to how the game has evolved. You know, they probably started off coming out a little bit coming out a little bit too much, maybe a little bit gung-ho early doors, especially with the wing-backs. But once they settled into the game, they got the wing-backs in, they got the shape, made it really difficult. Maybe you would have liked to see a bit more attacking threat from them tonight, but you can't be too disappointed with that. It's a good night for Forest.
Absolutely. We can get some reaction from out in Portugal now as well, because Captain Ryan Yates is with Liam McDevitt.
Well, look, you've come somewhere, a ground that they've won all of their home games in the Europa League this season, so I'm sure you'll take that.
Yeah, we'll take it. Back to the sea ground, everything to play for. It's going to be a good game.
In terms of those performances where you've had to work so hard defensively, it takes so much mental, doesn't it, to stay concentrated. It was a really good performance.
Yeah, I felt it was a really tactical game. They had spells on the ball. We had to be disciplined, defensively well organised. I think, first 10 minutes it took us a little bit to get into it, but yeah, I think it was a fair result in the end.
Your manager said he wanted you eyeballs to eyeballs. He needed the intensity. Do you feel as if what you've had the time to work on, you showed there tonight, and that can put you in good stead for a big few weeks for your football club?
Yeah, I definitely think we could have played better. Definitely things to improve upon, but like you say, they've won every game here, all season in the Europa League, so yeah, can't be too bad.
In terms of the confidence, you can say it's half-time, 1-0 after the first leg, but you can't wait to get them back to the City ground, can you?
Yeah, obviously we've got a massive game on Sunday in the Prem. Full focus on that, but yeah, there's something special about the European games in the City ground, so we'll look forward to it.
In terms of this journey that you're on, incredible moments with your travel and support, how much can this set you up for a difficult game in the Premier League and then when Porto comes to Nottingham?
Yeah, it's magical, to be honest. I think the support is incredible. Obviously, this journey we're on in Europe is special, and as you can see, they're thoroughly enjoying it, and so are we on the pitch.
Well done, Simon. Cheers.
Take care.
See you later.
Yeah, Ryan Yates and his teammates bringing back a positive result after a 1-1 draw against Porto. Just bowing down to the travelling fans there who've had a good night. We'll have more reaction from Porto on the way as well for you here on TNT Sports. But the big games keep on coming for you, because there's a huge game for Arsenal in the Premier League. That's the Saturday lunchtime kickoff against Bournemouth. Martin and myself will be there for that one. It should be a good afternoon at the Emirates. And then the following Saturday, we have a double helping of Premier League football as well. We're doing a little tour of London, starting in Brentford as they welcome Fulham. The build-up to that one from 11 o'clock. And then we'll head to Stamford Bridge as Chelsea host Manchester United from 7 o'clock. And on the 25th of April, it's Fulham against Aston Villa. Now you can go behind the scenes of the making of the upcoming Harry Potter series. That's narrated by Nick Frost, who plays Hagrid. Finding Harry, the craft behind the magic provided.
It's over, man, for tonight. Porto, they've tried their best, but unfortunately, they'll take the draw, man. They scored the first goal and made a mistake and gifted Nottingham Forest an own goal. My goodness. I know right now Martin Fernandez is hating himself for what he did, man. Oh my goodness. An own goal in such kind of game, you're gonna hate yourself for life, man. But anyway, Porto, they've played the best today, but unfortunately Nottingham, they were good at defending. Yeah, they're gonna be visiting the Nottingham Forest club at the City ground, man. It's gonna be an away game for Porto. The second leg before one of them secures a slot in the semi-finals. But for now, man, full-time score 1-1. It's a good result for Nottingham, because away games are always dangerous, man. You either get a point or you lose, but they've at least got a point, not even a point. Equal meanings in the next leg, they are safe. They can just score one goal and qualify. But if you lose on the first leg, the second leg is gonna be difficult for you because the other team will be having an advantage that you don't have. Yeah. So for now, man, big up to Nottingham for making sure they gonna get a point at Dragao Stadium. Yeah, man. Also, I wanna big up before I get to end the stream, man. I wanna big up my boy A to the B and everyone who has been with me since I started, man. And everyone who has voted, man. I can see the poll that I put on, will FC Porto defeat Nottingham Forest tonight? Yes is at 64%, no at 36%, man. Big up to everyone who voted. Porto fans, big up, man. I can see you took the lead in this poll, man. Big up, big up, big up. Also, I wanna go through. Let me end the poll first. Yeah, as you can see, the poll is complete with 14 votes. Yes at 64%, no at 36%. So big up to everyone who voted. Big up to everyone who voted. Yeah, someone I can see my boy was saying someone was disturbing me, man, when I was live. Yes, man. What's wrong with some people, man? When I'm live, please stop calling. Call me when I'm out of live streaming, man. When I'm not live streaming, you can call me anytime. But when I'm live streaming, please stay away for a minute. Let me do my thing, then we'll catch up later. But I dealt with it. I'm gonna talk to that person when I end this live streaming. But for now, man, let me take you through what happened in the Europa League. Bologna was playing with Aston Villa. Crystal Palace were playing also. So let me take you through the results, man. You can see today, West Ham United is playing against Wolverhampton. This game is gonna be crazy. Also, Real Madrid is gonna be playing Girona today. Roma will be playing Pisa. Paris FC will be playing Monaco. Olympic Marseille will be playing Metz. So, man, it's gonna be one over day. But let me show you what happened tonight if I get to end the live stream. So as you can see on your screens, Freiburg was playing with the real club Celta de Vigo. That's Celta Vigo. Freiburg won 3-0. The game that we have been enjoying with you guys. Porto versus Nottingham Forest just ended with a big draw, a beautiful one. Aston Villa defeated Bologna 3-1. That's a big thing. In the UEFA Conference League, Rayo Vallecano defeated Athens 3-0. Crystal Palace defeated Fiorentina 3-0, man. Mainz defeated Strasbourg 2-0, and Shakhtar Donetsk defeated AZ Alkmaar 3-0, man. Those are the big results that are in. Yeah, so we get to meet again today sometime. So you better lock in, man. Thank you for everyone who has been in. My boy A to the B, big up to everyone who voted, man. Again, let's meet in the next live stream, man. Let me get some good rests. And don't forget one thing, man. Arsenal is gonna be playing against Bournemouth on Saturday, 2:30 p.m. Kenyan time, 11:30 if I'm not wrong. Is it 12? 11 plus, yeah, 11:30 UK time. So you get it, man. Make sure you don't miss that game because, Arsenal, if you're an Arsenal fan just like me, you don't want to miss, all right? Yeah, see you again today with a surprise football watch-along, sorry. You get to enjoy, man, football every single day. Big up to everyone, man. Like I always say, I wish you the best of luck in everything you're doing out there. Yeah, be consistent, never give up. Everything is gonna happen, man. All right. Yeah, it has been your boy once again, Park BFLB, man. God bless you all. Get to meet again today. Yeah, that's all, man. I'm gonna say. So, the campaign is still on. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And let's meet tomorrow, man. Today I'm exhausted. I was even to start this live stream earlier, but I was 5 minutes late. But I had to do this, man. All right. See you again. God bless you all, man. I'm out. Peace and love, man.